There's no avoiding it. So welcome back to the movie, the end of Gintama. It's been a long time coming. Will we actually see the culmination of the entire story? Will we actually be pleasantly surprised by the end of it? Or are we just going to be eluded and be thrown back into, the gorillas? Any of the dumb storylines that Gintama has pulled out of his arse before? We're going to have to see. I really don't know how I'm going to carry on once Gintama has been over. I've learned so much from watching these 370 odd episodes. Everything that Gintama has done and got away with, its topics, its mockery of itself and everything. It's been a cornerstone of my life for a few years now. And so I guess it's only fair to give it the send-off that it deserves. By questioning every second of it. Get yourself a drink, maybe some snacks, sit down. Let's see the Gintama final movie. Celebrating? Ooh. Fancy. We're getting a fly-through of the galaxy. I can see that they're really pulling out all the stops. Now the planet is surrounded by ships. Destruction imminent. Again. I think I'm going to enjoy this even more than usual. What is this walking animation? That's why the sudden change. Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't want these Dragon Balls. Silver balls, okay. Now, should we really expect any less from Gintama, where it's openly referencing, if we're very generous, other pieces of art? The art style of this surprisingly isn't too jarring. Is it going to have the maybe not classic fight style as well? 4 hours of just teleporting around. I mean, as a rundown of events to get us up to speed, yeah, fine. Are we now going to be doing One Piece? I was actually going to guess One Piece. I saw the island and went, there we go. Pintoki. Let's try and get things back onto the right track. I mean, It's doing pretty well at summarizing the past 6 to 15 episodes. But he was cut down too early, offering his heart to Gintoki to continue on. And I'm going to be, even the shoulder pads, going to be slightly disappointed if it doesn't cut away to something dumb for a minute or two. The fact it is unashamedly just doing this. The fact it's carried on this piss take of Dragon Ball 4 this long. I mean, it's not even doing. All it's doing is the art style, so. It's fun to see the different characters. Some of them are recognizable in their style, let's be honest. Which ones are meant to be who? Really? Really, we're doing that? We're doing that as well? Okay. I mean, the Shinsengumi would be a good group to do it with, I guess. I mean, I've only ever seen probably like 15 different episodes of, I think it would be Dragon Ball Z, on repeat, constantly. Nice. Unfortunately, everyone who has watched Gintama would be used to this by now. Well, they've been worked overtime. I think this is just their the last hurrah, so they're glad to be over with it by the end of this. Just want to get it over with. And now you're making people sit through this. Exactly why they've wasted so many years of their life. Oh, good, we don't need to watch it anymore. So yeah, that was the Gintama movie. Things worked out somehow. Well, I'm glad we didn't waste too much of our lives sitting through it then. Is this movie just going to give everyone the opportunity to kick Gintoki's ass? I'd be okay with that. Now we've sat you through that bullshit, here's something of actual, somewhat consequence. There were drop pods. With so many forces, so much defense there, so many of them. Is there really enough to hold those three back? Nice. What's the Sakura blossoms? Here's a bit of a departure from what we were just witnessing. We're taking a trip down memory lane. The small bits we've had of their childhood, going to the classes and the school and meeting with everyone else. And what we fought before, and now knowing that it was an alternate personality to an immortal who would then come to almost destroy the world. There's a certain feeling hanging over this rather sweet kind of moment. Some things never change, do they? Oh no. Fire into the smoke and dust cloud. I'm sure that's not a waste of ammunition. And when they're getting serious, I'm surprised they haven't been able to, just through sheer numbers, at least slow them down. Beep, 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 beep. How many of them does Katsuda keep in his underwear? I mean, where is he pulling them all from? They hope to force a regeneration. I mean, he has a point, let's be honest. Looks like the escalator is going to be out of service for a while. The fact they don't learn, keep just charging in large groups with no spacing. Jesus, how many stairs are there? Well, good thing they're not doing the dash up of falling objects, ignoring gravity thing that other big movies have tried. That was a nice camera move for... There's no rest for the wicked. You can't sleep until the story is done. Someone's at the door. You need to give him a piece of your mind. And the Gintama style just just upped a little bit. Is nice, even if it makes things slightly shiny. It's almost as if they're having fun. Well, Master of Explosives getting rocked by a missile. Yeah. I wonder what that flash of light was. Thought someone else was joining in the fight on the other side. Well, that's handy. They were some warning shots, were they? They've got to be quicker than that. The fact that they can just get through any armor and shit. I mean, as a show of everything we've seen so far, kicking in some good soundtrack to the carnage. Actually, let's turn this up. And they're now going to repay it tenfold. And the fact that we've followed their stories along the way, known what they're personally fighting for, along with just protecting their friends and their home. Everyone, no matter... Maybe put that on a sign. Don't think you need to welcome people with such intensity. Yeah, no matter how big or small, how much impact or fighting experience they've had. I mean, somewhat simple movements from Shinpachi, but still damn effective. Are you coming? I mean, this battle raging on in full force. I mean, as a way to, apart from the Dragon Ball stuff, as a way to kick off something like this, I don't think I could be happier. There's hardly any left for them. I like how he just goes back to a straight neutral expression. Yeah, maybe try something else, mate. It seems those thrusts weren't working for you. More stairs. I like how Shinpachi came to, dressed for battle with his fan club headband. He's fighting not only as a samurai of Edo, the whatever the name of the dojo was his father had, but also the captain of the fan club. But you're surprised by this? I thought that was the plan. Suddenly falls. They need this. How much of them is their original bodies? And please don't mean that we are going to have hundreds of Utsuros running around now. God fuck. Damn. I wonder if they've picked up his fighting abilities and everything as well. Their bodies have been moulded by the genetics. I mean, pretty concise little story of the process there. Oh, we're getting these moments for several things. Okay. And Oboro is now part of him, thanks to him. What about Katsuo? Doesn't he get to play with the heart? I mean, yeah, they are in an elevator. Do you think they would just wait for them to arrive at the top? No, I wouldn't grin so quickly. I mean, what else are they planning to do if not move on? I mean, not only that, but the fact of everyone and everything that's shocked me. Okay. Sure, he's using some fabric, but that is gonna burn through quickly. You need to look a bit further down. Well, good thing he stabbed Takasugi. I mean, as far as first blows go. Ah, the cable is flexing. Ah, it's not. I'm going to say a lot. It's not Katsura. This. Oh, those are some cool flashes. With very little place to go in a confined space. What happened to the heart? Some of these... There it is. Little actions, things that we're seeing. Choreography, already, pretty nice. Oh, a somewhat named character there. I mean, if it was just a regular low-down soldier that was giving Katsura so much trouble, I'd be concerned. I should have guessed by the fact that when we first saw the arm cannon. Took it back. How much of the terminal is going to be left by the end of the fight here? Ah, okay. So how many of his limbs were replaced? You know, we had the peg leg type thing. Now it's another sword. He's got his cannon in his arm. The flow of this battle, and the fact it's lingered for so long over on just this... just this fight. As it all cracks and crumbles. I like it, yeah. A moment like this, everyone just kind of stops. Okay. Mid-swing, they just completely just freeze. Good, there are alternate ways up. I'm pretty sure we know who's going to come out on top over this, whether or not Katsura needs to... like, someone needs to interject into this fight, but it's because it's what, the only way that they can live. Oh. Looks like he pierced his heart there with that thrust. Or maybe just upper shoulder. Save him. Oh, fuck. That may be an issue. Well, injecting the heart power into the central tower now. Back with the Altana energy. Also, with him so close and kneeling down on the side, I'm guessing he's going to topple. Didn't expect to see that! Having a bit of his skull caved in. In what way? But with them being able to regenerate to that extent, what can they do? Well, keep attacking them until the blood runs out, until the regeneration stops. Well, we've got a Takasugi pincushion. It's really inferior. Wow. Ah, that is an energy burst. Tearing away at the... Takasugi's vanishing as well, though. He fell. Yeah, maybe so, but... He has more than one. They're so noisy, aren't they? Looks like more than one opportunity was afforded to him. Where's he going? Is this... good? Triumphant return! Through the power of friendship and a bit of Altana energy. Oh, and Gintoki. Yeah. I mean, some things are just meant to be. Let's be honest. If it had went any other way, I would have been disappointed. Yeah, just wait a minute, he's busy with his lunch. Kagura's just pleased to have him back. Well, as long as he didn't chew, I guess Gintoki might be okay. Yep, as long as he doesn't get stomachache. I hope that's at least going to be Gintoki when you pull him out. Yeah, can you go back in there then? Excuse me? That's some very bad hemorrhoids he's got. I mean, Shinpachi, I wouldn't stay there. You're in the blast zone. The newbie. How many exits are there? You don't want that stuff getting in your battle wounds. That's a odd line of thinking. Well, it might have started off that way. As long as they could be together. I was expecting at least a bark from Sadaharu there. You can wash it off first. Something must have shrunk in the wash. The water must have been too hot in that bathhouse. He seems pretty okay with it, let's be honest. I mean, is it usually like the middle part that gets digested? Oh, that is that the top of his legs? They form the full Gintoki. I have no idea what reference this is. All I know is I don't want old men being my limbs. We don't have time to be... But how many parts is he going to be split into once he comes out the final time? No! Fuck it. Gintama. Never change. I mean, if you're gonna have your main hero emerge from a dog's anus, then at least accompany it with a good sword fight after. Ooh, I like these creature designs. Like he's got multiple arms, multiple guns. What was that face she just pulled? We are long past the days of worrying about showing anyone getting cut down. This is... I mean, this is just like when he was in the ship up above and he was... carrying on when he was near, past his expiration date. He might be a little on edge, let's be honest. Vanished. He pulled a Batman. But the fact it's, his blood and everything was dripping out. First off, excuse me? Are you... I mean, he must have been taking lessons from the Devil May Cry 5 vehicle. Yeah, it can reach places it really shouldn't. Physics and travel paths mean very little. Especially when you're going up vertical surfaces. So they're kind of fighting on the same side. Oh no, the organ. Of him constantly being tracked down. Yeah. Just to be reborn. Oh, sudden growth spurt? Oh, is that how the aging process works? I don't remember getting all lumpy. Now, which personality has taken over? I wonder if Madow's going to keep his new job and or driver's license. Yeah, oh, that's a very short blade now. But her running by herself, I did wonder when she was moving with her own autonomy. What an odd pair. Well, it's more than a pair. Really, when you've got all of them. But considering she's always been like at the forefront of the main district, her now put on some pants. Her now going by herself for I'm not sure what. To remove his blood from the planet. Oh, he's got something to cover himself up at least. Also, his green eyes there. And who should meet him upon his return? Let's hope this... Is he... What, that was his entire motive and reason. But he is with it enough to know the part of his being and personality. Was... Well, that was... I was expecting one of them to get... Oh, fuck, it's his own blood taking over him. I was expecting one of them to be attacked like that. If we saw the others take on elements of Utsuro, why not Takasugi as well? Why did that not occur to me? Seems so simple in hindsight. How many times are they going to be in danger, trapped under rubble, cut down? That's some interesting design work of the room. But with the lighting, the sun, you get some good silhouettes going on here. He doesn't actually look all too surprised. Oh. Brilliant. I wonder if this means if we do get Takasugi back, if... Well, I see him like he'd probably have to die alongside it, but he might have both eyes. That's an interesting fighting style. I did not expect any of this. This is outside what we usually see for Gintama. Ah, they did just stop their swords at that moment. Not just holding it in a moment of time. Is Takasugi going to fight off the blood within him, though? He's ready for it. Wait, this is an entire mind battle? Much like Utsuro and his multiple personalities there. Huh? I'm on the... What? What happened? And in that moment, he stopped himself. Along with the help of the first student. That's a good question. There's a lot of mysteries. What, so is a false image being shown to him? I mean, as writing goes, not bad, not fucking bad. Especially when we talk about it's Gintama. But the fight for control. It's not the version that they need to be fighting. And now what? They have successfully separated the personalities of Utsuro and Shoyo. The cycle continues. Well, welcome to Gintoki's normal everyday life. Didn't even look like he drew his sword. His blade cannot reach him. I mean, the psychological battle here, along with the physical one. A collection of all their experiences, all their fights. Ooh. Some of these transitions, though. It's not done for... Well, of course, it is done to make it look cool, but there's so much meaning and story behind each blow. Is the score still going to be equal after this? complex emotions being shown right there. Also, an ever so slight quiver you could see on in Gintoki's lips. Who would have thought that the only one to take down Shinsuke would be him himself? Well, then you've just got to even it up again. In a time like this, again. To think that I kind of expected something along the lines, especially when he had the blood of immortality in him, but having a moment just between the two of them, backlit like this. They would love just to be able to hang out, have a normal-ish life. I hope the travelling down the river here isn't an extended metaphor as well. Which was caught forever in the past. Give him a sight to actually want to look at. Yeah, give him the different eras. Give him a smile. The fact he is getting paler. He won't be waiting too long. as the shadows grow longer. Fucking hell. So we had the big emotional impact this far into it. You've got so much more to see still. So going through the same thing we did before with the ship that was up in space. Needs some way of dissipating all that energy. How he ended up how he was. I mean, it's a give and take. We help each other to grow. We impart ourselves into others and they leave a lasting effect on us. We don't need the tale of an immortal monster for that to be shown to us. And how much he has taught them. Not the time, Katsura. And it will just be a replay of what we've seen before. Some way of holding it back. So everyone gets out while he has this moment of self-sacrifice to stop it. I mean, does he have the power and time to get there? I like that this is the big confrontation that we expect, but not a simple battle of good v evil. It's like several hundred layers on top of all of it. And then she's standing guard. True. How much are you going to get out of it all, though? Okay. I mean, sure, they can say it, but there's a lot of buttons here. Yeah, I was about to say, can Mob Cop do anything about it? You just need to give him a smack. Really. If Siri started shouting me, first a question, why is Siri talking, but... Can Ayato's umbrella hold all of this back? Now, who was it this time? Give them a reason. He's done a pretty piss poor job at it, let's be honest. There are so many left. I see. Then it's up to him. I did wonder how we'd have Katsura kind of join in on all of this. Having all of the onus on Gintoki and Takasugi as the two of the students. You gotta run faster than that, come on. Use the pipe. Use that gorilla strength. There had to be a reason for her to be there. Giving them all a turn in this. No matter what happens, the world they've created thanks to his teaching. back into the planet. We had that moment of well, there's always going to be, when you lose someone, you want to show them what you've done, where you are, how your life turned out. Actually being able to see it in a form like this. Oh, that's lucky. The final remnant of the heart. And seeing it in a starscape. And what could this signify? Ticker tape? Oh, connection to a server. Ah. Welcome back. It's time for Tama to see the world as it is now. I mean, it might take a while, but now that she's actually able to respond, it might be easier to do any future fixes. A replay of the opening, just now advanced? Yeah, how many years has it been? About 4 months? Tokyo. C. They've advanced. We've went through the period with shoguns and emperors, now entering at the time of modern Tokyo. But some things don't change. How much is still etched into her memory? Because it had been collected through the mind of Tamako. Oh, where's she off to? Come see them. They protected the planet once again. What happens now? Do they go back to their odd jobs? Maybe the answer to that is, you're regretting this all now, aren't you? Maybe it would be best not to help him out in the originally. Quick, move. Oh no, we're gonna have a battle for power. I'm gonna take the words of Shinpachi over those of a drunkard. Oh, she's not living in the cupboard anymore. They've reached out and made the justaways into big pillows now. Also, now that she's kicked down the door, then being able to see into her room is going to be easier. Need to fix that up pretty quickly. Yep, you see that with a smile. And she's still going strong, running her bar. Catherine still aged horribly. And why is she still okay with never getting any rent? He has a point. As if it was just purely natural for them. Who's... Ah! I couldn't tell who that voice belonged to. Has their little family been contacting each other a little more after all of these events? And yeah, still pretty bored. I have to choose between some glorious TV channels here. Everyone pulling together, working through things, just like so many nations had to do after big conflicts. Excuse me. That's going to go down in the media quite well. Then, yeah, exactly. If she was to remove any obstacles, is it really safe to make those claims right now on TV? That'd be next. All of them. It's a ghost. I see he's lost a bit of himself. I'm okay with that. Also, for Kasuda to take on the guise of Elizabeth in a much more skin-tight bodysuit. Yeah, do something short and snappy. Keep everyone's attention. We're just going over it again. Gotta pad out that runtime. Everyone dies eventually, so fuck it. Well, the in-between doesn't matter. There we go. Excuse me. Who's doing the narration now? Her food? Oh. I mean, does everyone get a visit from this wandering spirit? Let's see. And is he still in charge? Nothing can stop him. Well, at least he's spending his paycheck wisely. And while there isn't a major conflict, sure. Enjoy yourselves a little. Still did, probably. What was that little voice just then? I mean, yeah, sneaking in his own little lines every once in a while. Wait, Yamazaki. So she could beat his ass later. And if you could change the course of events by hearing a outside narration. This is her actual words. I mean, got to squeeze his wallet for all he's worth. But official corruption. And yet everyone seems so content with it. Wasting screen time is something Gintama is quite proficient in. One minute, that's all you get, mate. He's got quite the intense section here. Ah, I saw. Wait, all of them except for Yamazaki. Is he already wishing the death? He's... I mean, are they still upholding the rules of the Shinsengumi? Those edicts? What the hell is... yeah. Well, it's good to see that a little more spending went into it so that Yamazaki's back to normal. Perfect. Whisper underneath your breath. A lost cause. The fact that we do allow everyone to have such a fun time in the wrap-up. Oh. Oh, okay. I mean, still trying to get over her fear of males, just have to use a sword. Yeah, it's. I think it's a good idea. I mean, sure, there's hard to get, and then there's fearing for your life. He might need a new sword after this. Oh yeah, I forgot about his personal preferences. Yeah, everyone being able to laugh and smile through all of this. And the captain of the third, still unable to speak, flustered out in the corner there. And considering this is a memory of things that happened, where do we stand now? And how long was she sleeping for? $10? At least this place is doing well, even if they do have to work overtime just on washing. I'm sure there'll be plenty. She does stop. I think he needs a new hobby. We're getting it. Bean Doggy. We're getting a wrap up from Sakamoto as well. Excuse me. And in a way, he kind of did. Lol. I mean, for that platform to be spared when it was in the brunt of it. I mean, considering he's reading that and Thomas stood on the other side, how is she getting anything from this? And making strange... No. Is she going on the same journey that Gintoki did, searching all of the gates? I mean, when it comes to Gintama, nothing's impossible, but with Takasugi's will to live, will to take down the entire planet, oh, fucking hell. You can stop that now. Well, she took off running. There's quite a talk and a glow from the tree. And just like Shoyo and Gintoki, we have the same event, the circle there. Takasugi being a teacher to them. And they're still just as crammed. This is quite a lot of data to sift through as far as like memories of it all go. And how does some of these parts get stored? Who's collecting this data? And she's back. You've been stood there for half hour. She'll know where to return? The one place that never updated its style. Maybe your GPS just got a little out of whack. Interesting fashion we've got here. The only one that really no. The only one to really retain everything. Oh no, he was corrupting the memories. Some irregular. It seems it's true. Everyone can be happy. Might be entirely incorrect. Here, let me show you the true world. And the fact that she sees things through data and not actually perceiving things as they are. Really? That's the reunion you have after she's been asleep for so long? I mean, it's a waste of oil, isn't it? There have been some truly impressive sights to see in this movie. Well, as long as the odd job's around to fuck it all up again. The finalized. Yeah, but we couldn't get away from one last bait and switch. One, this is the world as we know it. One big fake out with Hasegawa ruining it all. What can we trust when we have the irregular narrators actually intervening at any point? I'm surprised we didn't get a lot from Elizabeth, considering the intensity of some of it. But still helping out Katsuro in his whatever the hell you would call running around New Edo as this spirit. But having the entire story not only told to us multiple times, but ended multiple times, and keeping up everything that we know of Gintama, while still managing to land some really heavy blows in terms of emotional impact. I think we all played the straight man throughout most of that. And where did it get us? Well, hurt multiple times. But with so many plot threads tied, characters actually seeing this full runtime and the ending. Nice. And the silhouettes of everyone still chasing after them, and what kind of story can we write? What kind of lives can we impact on everyone around us? Even without the massive power source of the Earth itself. Just what we needed. Yay! They've been in this school for quite a while. I think you'd do fine. I mean, this school is basically a zoo. Since when did you become a student here? No, I suppose, yeah, you got a lot of time to learn. I mean, asking some very pointed questions. Also, considering the author himself is a gorilla. Banana coat. Well, do we need to know his origins? He was just, the devil of the battlefield. I like the single bit of mayonnaise in the open locker back there. The actual... He dies it. Ah, because manga. You're suspended. As royalties. I can see he's disrupting the class for everyone else. He may need to stand outside. Yeah, you're dead. Can you stand outside, please? While not actually providing any solid answers so people could create the reality that they wanted. Oh, okay. I understand. Yeah. Just being lazy. Fuck it. Some plot threads don't need answers. Leave it up to your own imagination. Yeah. Only one vote for that option? That was one hell of a movie. Now, unfortunately, what you're seeing here is one of probably the first ever talking about the show and a day afterwards because the recording didn't capture. So any and all really good points that I made for half an hour after the movie finished, lost to the void forever. So I'm just going to try and do a recap. And actually getting a full storyline, a full follow through of everything. Takasugi, it ending the way it did, even with the is he, isn't he dead story at the end of it, but we're having the childhood life and the events of Utsuro. And all of his actions being determined by his just want of being able to be with his teacher again. Or the conflict was lashing out, trying to find some way of paying back the world for taking him from them. And it seems only right that Takasugi is the sword and the spirit that really took him down. And I guess that moment of stoic resignation was this crushed eye has seen so much, had the face of a gloomy Gintoki carved into it. Give him something good to see. And the pained smile. Would there be anyone that would be unfazed by that? Come on now. Don't lie. But again, right from the beginning, we had some pretty good animation. It was carried through a fair bit. Not only in the art style changing ever so slightly for the movie, but the frame rate, the use of the camera, the fighting, some of the extra effects and everything. This movie was, for Gintama standards, fucking beautiful. And considering this is Gintama, I kind of expected a full cutaway to nothingness bullshit ending segment type thing. But I suppose they already played us with that before. We did get the possible world to be in the memories of what happened through the eyes of Tama, which that was pretty good, even if the memories itself can be interrupted, can be, well, corrupted. But you wouldn't really think the actual stimulus being received from her camera's eyes, seeing the world, would be affected by Hasegawa, unless he's just that powerful. Wouldn't consider that one. And no matter what kind of emotion that the movie really imparted on us, which, let's be honest, there was quite a few to try and take in from this, I was always going to feel a little apprehensive and ambivalent, because it's the end thing of Gintama. Something that I've been definitely only putting up with, not enjoying, for quite some time now. When you've got something that is part of your routine for so many years, it's going to be hard to think of much else. Gintama's definitely had its ups and downs. Some episodes didn't hit quite as well as others. And then there are times when I've been laughing like a madman at toilet humour. Really, the only time that it should work like that is if it catches you off guard. And yet Gintama does it so casually and on the fly that maybe it's so expected as to be unexpected. But from an unspecified amount of time after the events and the world carrying on, certain characters doing well, others wishing everyone was entirely dead, we can imagine that the same kind of insanity will forever be taking place. I think that's pretty much a safe bet. But I do like the advancements of eras themselves. Like, we went through the era of emperors and shoguns into actual politics, into somewhat modern day. And even though sometimes we get characters having really good moments, getting a lot of screen time, a lot of character building, more growth on their part, they can be reduced to a skin-tight, white-clothed spirit stalking the alleyways. I mean, he was so devoted over Elizabeth, it was only a matter of time that he tried to turn himself into one. But there are so many moments of Gintama. Let's take Gintoki finding Utsuro as a baby, and then again with Takasugi, And then there was the replaying of the intro with Shinpachi instead of Gintoki. There's so many bits which are entirely kind of circular in the way of history repeating itself. I wonder if that is only done to draw your attention back to things we've seen, or if it is actually meant to be a part of the world. But if we think about it, not only the Silver Soul arc, not only the Farewell Shinsengumi, not only the Shogun Assassination, not only the Yoshiwara in Flames arc, we've had so many moments that affect so many, that hit so hard, and it all can be boiled down quite simply. It's just people trying to protect what they know and love, their home. And speaking of those aforementioned arcs, can we just appreciate how amazing some of the Gintama stories are? Because in the Shogun Assassination one especially, felt like a complete turning point. The story actually started to take itself somewhat seriously. But things truly mattered. Irreplaceable, irredeemable changes to certain characters and places. But really, I think the story of Gintama is just how much has it affected us? How much of our lives are going to be changed forever? Because some of its teachings, some of its warnings, some of its ways of saying, no, don't use underwear as disguise. Thanks, Gintama. Wouldn't have thought of that without you. But this is something that's going to be difficult to let go of, but we're going to have to do it. So hopefully you'll be there with me, whatever may come. If you enjoyed this, let me know. You leave a like and a comment. It really helps out the channel. Consider subscribing. I mean, after all of this. Well, you'd see why you wouldn't want to, actually. But get yourself some rest. See you in the next one. If you want to be one of the many spirits pushing my channel from behind, consider joining onto my Patreon, because thanks to Noku, Raywin, Sal, Arthea, Kite, Shiwan, Matt, Skirly, Cardboard, Croyville, Levi GR, Scott Raymond, Megu42, Dark Shadow 7899, Yellow Dragon 123, and everyone else. I don't really have to be worried no matter what comes my way. Although, I don't think supporting to watching anime on the internet is really powerful enough to stop any sword blades, but hopefully I won't have to find out.